you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Moore
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here on the Sick Podcast Network. Jimmy Murphy and Pierre McGuire. Pierre, how are you doing, my friend?
Fantastic. Watching the American women and the Canadian women right now after 40. It's 4-0. Team USA, no surprise. No Marie-Philippe Poulin for Canada, for those that aren't aware yet. But this is a good example of why, if you want hitting in women's hockey, this is why you don't want hitting in women's hockey.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a vicious hit. That was just a simple collision. And I feel so bad. Marie-Philippe Poulin is an amazing woman. She's a phenomenal ambassador for the sport. The young lady that hit her, I know her well. She played 4 years at Colgate University. My son was there at the same time. Tremendous player, Koltakova from Czechia, excuse me. But this is why I don't want hitting in hockey for the women. I don't want it. I've been saying this for a long time. And all I keep hearing are all these analysts saying, bring the hitting in, bring the hitting. No, the women's game is good enough. You don't need the hitting.
Yeah.
You can rub people out. There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Rubbing and hitting are two different things.
Yep, I agree, Pierre, and I'm 100% on board with you. And as we were discussing offline earlier today, it's just, look, like they haven't been trained to do this. And this is no knock on women's hockey, but it's not part of the game. It's not part of the culture that they grow up in. And I'm with you. It's gonna end up the way it ended up for Canada.
One of my favorite voices on the women's game is the great American coach, Ben Smith. Ben Smith coached 98, he coached 02, and he coached 06. And then in 10 it went over to Mark Johnson. And then Katie Stone took it in 14. And, we've had different people since. So all I'll say is Ben Smith was a guy that did it for more than one Olympics, and he did it fantastically well. And he says, that's not the women's game. That's not how it's meant to be played. Now, you can rub somebody out to establish defensive posture, which is fine, but you take a lot of the skill out of the women's game if you start allowing the bigger women to start hitting the smaller women and all the skill goes out of the game. I don't think you'll like the result. I just don't want to see it. I don't mind the rubbing out. I don't want the vicious hit. Now, in this case, the hit on Marie-Philippe Poulin was not a vicious hit. No. It was not.
And good on her to go and apologize. If you saw, like, they apologized.
No, that was a different, Jimmy. That's a different player.
No, you're right. I realized that.
And that was from the PWHL.
Yeah. Well, here's my question to you, though, Pierre. With the PWHL growing and with obviously money being involved and corporate sponsors being involved and TV being involved, are you worried that there's going to be pressure to include hitting because they think violence sells, which it unfortunately does?
Yeah, there might be. That's a really good question. It could be. So here's what I would say to you, Jimmy. College sports is professional sports now. Mm-hmm. I know of young ladies that have left schools to go to other schools, and they've received substantial NIL money. I'm not going to say the school's name, but there are a couple that are in the Midwest part of the United States that have paid NIL money to women to leave other schools that are in the East and move. Mm-hmm. So if they're leaving for money, what are they? They're not amateurs.
Right.
They're pros.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've already seen the professionalism aspect of it. All I know is the women's game is really good. It's never been played at a higher level. Mm-hmm. The Americans and Canadians, they're the bellwether right now. Czechia is really starting to improve. This is really good news for the sport. The Swedes are still good. They're not as good as they need to be. The Finns are good. They're not as good as they need to be. The Swiss are starting to come along, but they don't have the depth yet to be able to compete with Canada or the United States. So we're seeing teams improve. They just got to improve a little bit more quickly than what we're seeing.
Yep. Before we go on, Pierre, I got a couple announcements we got to just make our listeners and viewers aware of. First of all, very excited that we will be having two-time Olympian Scott Fusco join us.
And Hobie Baker winner.
Hobie Baker winner on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Teeing up the men's. Well, the men's tournament will already have a couple games under their belt in the morning there, but we'll be teeing that up, and we will be doing it at noon, and that was actually going to start tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Just so everybody knows out there, starting tomorrow until the 23rd. Obviously, we're not on Saturday and Sundays. but on weekdays, starting tomorrow, we will be broadcasting at noon. So that way we are not going head. I mean, sometimes it's going to happen. There's nothing we can do about it, but we'll do our best to not be going head to head with the games as we go on here in the Olympic hockey tournament. So remember, noon, Monday through Friday, starting tomorrow. You will get the eye test live. Of course, you can find it on all the different podcast platforms. After, if you're not able to listen, if you're stuck at work or what have you, you'll find us there. Also, unfortunately, our Vago shows are not going to happen for reasons we don't need to get into, but we will not be broadcasting live from Montreal, but we are sure to make something happen in the spring. Hopefully, we'll be up there for some Canadiens playoff games, and we'll figure it out with our good friends. Also confirmed, Pierre. Not only have we already confirmed we are going to be at Hurley's on St. Patrick's Day, but confirmed now, O'Hara's Beer will be sponsoring the eye test show at Hurley's on St. Patrick's Day. That's at 1219 Crescent Street in Montreal, right up the street from the Bell Center. We'll be going 4 to 6 p.m., leading into the 7 p.m. Bruins Canadiens game at the Bell Center that night. We would love for any of you, if you're coming up from Boston or you're already up in Montreal, come downtown, meet Pierre and I, and listen to us talk some hockey. I'm sure we'll have some great guests on board as well. So very excited about that, and very excited to be working with O'Hara's Beer. So that's that. Those are the announcements I got right now. Pierre, anything else I'm missing other than, we again remind people we'll be at the ECACs.
Yep. Women and men, Lake
And
Placid.
in the end of March. And as we get closer, we will confirm times and location. Hopefully we'll be at the Lake Placid Brewery again. I think that's on the agenda from what I heard. So looking forward to that. But getting back to the Olympics here, Pierre started up. It's 4-0 USA, as you were saying. Now, look, not to take away from what USA has done today, Pierre, but just reminder to everybody out there, this game doesn't mean much.
No, but it means more. I'm going to say this with respect. It means more to the Canadians than it does to the Americans, and I'll tell you why. The Canadians hung their hat on, we didn't play our best roster in the rivalry series this year. Well, they lost all 4 of those games, saying that they didn't dress their best roster. Well, don't tell me today the reason why you lost is because you didn't have Marie-Philippe Poulin. I've been watching this game. Right now, the Canadians have 12 shots on goal. They're not even close. Yeah. They had 1 thrust in the first 2 minutes of the first period, and that's about it. And so the Americans have been great. Abby Murphy's been phenomenal. 3 assists in the game. She's drawn 2 penalties. The tandem of Caroline Harvey out of the University of Wisconsin and Haley Wynn out of Clarkson, off the charts. Off the charts. What a professional tandem that is on the back end for Team USA. They've got elite speed. They've got elite skill. They've got amazing 4-line depth. They've got 2 outstanding goalies. So, I mean, they're just right now they're better. That doesn't mean they're going to win the gold medal, because I've seen major upsets.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
2018, I saw Team USA beat a really good Canada team in a shootout. I was there. The Lamoureux sisters took over that game. Megan Duggan, who was hardly playing, and I kept saying, put her in the game. I kept saying it loud so that the coaching staff could hear. I was working between the benches, and Megan Duggan made a huge difference in that game. She's a skill development coach too, by the way, for the New Jersey Devils now. But the Lamoureux sisters took that game over, and they're at the Olympics right now watching this Team USA. So anything could happen in a 1-and-out. Anything, but right now, people can say whatever they want. I'm telling you what the facts are. The American ladies right now are better than the Canadians. Doesn't mean it's going to hold true when the gold medal comes up. Yeah, but right now they're better.
All right. Switching over to the men's, which will get going tomorrow, and then of course USA is playing on Thursday in Canada as well. Pierre, I want to ask you, because I was listening to our good friend Jeff Merrick earlier today on his great show that you go on, The Sheet, and they're talking about the goaltending.
Yep.
And Jeff, he had, I think it was Greg Wyshynski had on with him from ESPN. Jeff was arguing that Sweden's goaltending is better than the U.S. As we speak, I'm talking about current form heading into the tournament, not on paper, not overall in terms of their track record and their careers. I agree with Jeff right now. In this current form as they head into the Olympics, I like the Swedish goaltending. Now, that doesn't mean that Connor Hellebuck or Jake Ottinger or Jeremy Swayman can't find their game and perform to where they really should be and step it up in the Olympics. But I'm just talking right now. I like the goaltending of Sweden better. I'm with Jeff.
So give me the 3 names for the Swedes.
Wallstedt,
Mhm.
Gustafsson,
Mhm.
and what's his name? Markstrom from New Jersey.
Okay, so you think Markstrom's better than anything that Canada had or U.S. has?
I don't
right
think I don't think I said overall.
now? Okay, so
overall.
that's why I asked you to name the goalies. So
Yep.
you think Markstrom's better than any of the 3 U.S.
No,
goalies?
I think
Okay,
he's the worst.
so he's out.
He's out.
Now we're down to 2.
Yes.
How many Olympics has Jesper Wallstedt
I'd
played
say
in?
current form though, Pierre.
No. I'm asking you, how many Olympics has he played in?
As far as I know, none.
Yeah. And what was the last guy you said?
Gustafsson.
Yeah. How many Olympics has he played in?
Was it one? And he really
I don't think he's played in any either, Jimmy.
he played in the for any he cracked.
So I can tell you right now, I've had Gus. I worked with him in Ottawa. He's a phenomenal kid. He's a good goalie.
Uh-huh.
This is a way different. None of those guys is Henrik Lundqvist. Like the Swedes won in 06 because of Henrik Lundqvist and Matt Sundin and Nicky Lidstrom and Daniel Alfredson and Sammy Paulson. I can keep going if you want.
Right.
Their team lost Jonas Brodin and they also lost Leo Carlson. They're in trouble. And their goalie is not elite level goaltending. I'll go with what you and Jeff said.
No, you go with what you believe. I'm just saying.
I'm playing the other side of it
we
here.
agree on everything. We don't. So
we don't. And I'm looking forward to hoping that you and Jeff are right and I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case.
I'm not confident about this USA team right now, Pierre. There's something.
I saw what you wrote, by the way. Somebody sent it to me. They said,
Yes.
Your buddy's playing a prognosticator now. He's saying that Latvia will beat USA.
In the preliminary.
Okay.
That is my bold prediction of the tournament to start the tournament.
Okay.
Should we wager?
No, I don't do that.
I know.
I'm just telling you right now that the American team is way better. I don't know why all these people are hating on Team USA. I can't believe. I mean, you tell me a team that's got Jack Eichel, Tage Thompson, Austin Matthews, and Dylan Larkin maybe playing as a number 4 center, and Vinny Trocheck as a 5. Okay. Yeah. They're going to lose a lot of games.
I didn't say they lose a lot.
Who's the top center for Latvia?
I don't even know.
So how would you pick that?
Because I think that this American team is going in overconfident. And I think in effect, it would be good for them to suffer a loss in the preliminaries to a team that they're expected to demolish, because I think it will wake them up. You go back to the 4 nations, and we've spoken about this. And
Did you watch the women's game today?
I'm watching it. I've been watching it.
Did you see where all the American men were today?
Yeah, they're at the game.
They're at the game. If they were overconfident, you know where they would be? They'd be out. They're not out. They're at the game.
All right.
They're on a business trip. They're on a serious business trip.
Were they on a business trip when they thought because they got in a line brawl and beat the Canadiens in Montreal that they were going to win the championship in the 4 nations? You agree with me that they went into that game?
That Canadian team's good. If you had a Canada-US final, you'd be really happy.
Oh, I think we will. I'm just saying it's going to be an upset along the way here, and that's my.
Can we do the Captain Obvious moment right now? You don't think there's ever going to be an upset at the Olympics? Come on, Captain Obvious.
Well, that's
you think it's going to be Latvia over US? Okay.
That's the one I'm picking.
I'll take you at your word.
Yep. That's the
and
one.
I'll respectfully disagree.
That's fine. You could disagree.
And what do you do if you're wrong?
I will admit I'm wrong. Like I
and
always
then can we stop the prognostications?
Hey, I'm paid to give my opinion, my friend.
Okay.
And I did. You may disagree, and that's fine. That's your opinion. Listen.
No, I don't tell people who's going to win and lose.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you. Going back to what I was saying about the tournament there, and just the overall theme. It's just something I've been thinking about. Is it difficult for teams not to get carried away from a win against a rival in the preliminaries and think, okay, we beat him there. Now we're going to beat him in the medal round?
That's a really good question, though. I will cede you that. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen some people get really jacked up and they can't turn it over. And then I've seen, Canada in 02, saw Canada in 10, Canada in 14. They were dominant. I mean, they never really rolled over. In fact, I'll give you credit on this one. When Canada had a problem with Switzerland in 2010, that's when they flipped the goalies and they took Brodeur out and put Luongo in. That got everybody's attention. Babcock had a lot of courage to do that, but he did it. And it reminded me of what Pat Quinn and Wayne Gretzky did in 02. They took Curtis Joseph out and they put Marty in. That got everybody's attention too. Trust me, I was out for dinner after Canada's first couple games with a very, very high-profile person. And there were a couple other people with us too. One was my late dad. And this person kept saying, why do you say that they're going to switch goalies? I said, because I watched them. I was down below and I saw how mad they were. And I'm like, there's no way they're coming back with Cujo. Not a chance. No way. And this guy, you don't know that. And he's yelling at me in this really nice steakhouse. And my dad's sitting right next to me. He doesn't know what to say. And I said, well, I kind of have a feeling that they are going to switch. And then the next day, the guy came up to me. We were having coffee in the hotel lobby. And he said, how did you know that? How did you know that? Who told you? I said, I was standing right there. Nobody had to tell me. I saw it.
Yep.
I said that I got to tell this story too. I told Jimmy this. I will never forget this. I was doing the day after Thanksgiving Day game down in Philadelphia. And I was coming off the ice and I was running to make a car service because I had a game somewhere else the next day. And I saw the management team of the Philadelphia Flyers really upset, really upset. And they were standing right by where I had to walk out. And I just said, hey, how you doing? See you guys later. I know you're busy. And then one of the people came over and talked to me. And I said, look, I don't want to intrude. I got to get going. And he says, no, you're not intruding. Just wanted to make sure you knew we were saying hello and goodbye. I said, yeah, no problem. And I said to myself, I got a bad feeling for Ronnie Hextall here. I got a bad feeling. This was not a normal. And then they went to Toronto and they got driven. Toronto beat them bad. And then they came home. Philadelphia Flyers announced the firing of Ron Hextall. And I saw where it was going on. And it's the same thing with the Curtis Joseph thing and Marty Brodeur. Saw it happen. So, like, that's one of the things that Inside the Glass gives you if you're doing your job right.
Yes. I want to get back to the goalie talk, Pierre.
Yeah.
Given that, let's say, again, current form, none of the American goalies have sort of dictated heading into this, like, I'm the number one guy, except
That's
maybe
fair.
Bennington because of what he did at Four Nations. That's it.
Yep.
If you're the coaching staff, do you give them each one start to see where they're at, or you just pick one and ride him until he stinks?
I think 2 of the 3 will get probably a game, and then I think they'll decide.
Okay.
And then I think the 3rd guy might get half a game.
Okay. But you could get a sample of each.
Yeah, you'll get a little sample. I don't think 3 guys are going to play 3 different games. I think one guy is going to get more, but I don't think he'll get 2. Now, they may say, hey, coach, you want me to get in rhythm? I got to play 2.5. You know what I mean? But I don't know if that'll happen. Usually, from all the things I've been to, they split it up, but they're not going to – I don't think 3 guys will get a full game each. I don't see that happening.
All right. We've asked you before, Pierre. I asked you about Czechia. You still feel that they're not quite there yet to maybe –
No, they're not going to have enough offense. Pasternak's going to get targeted. Not in a dirty way. They know if Pasternak can't score, they can't win, especially with, Pavel being out. So that's a big problem. I just don't think they have enough offense.
And how about Germany? You think we could expect anything from them?
They'll have one line. They'll be really good. Paterka, Draisaitl, and Timmy Stützle. They'll be really good, that line, but they won't have a lot.
Yeah.
Be hard. Look, all those countries are good, but they don't have what U.S. and Canada or even Sweden and Finland. Finland's good. Finland just, I don't know if they're going to have enough either, but Finland's good. Finland's like the dark horse in this whole thing, I think, more than Czechia.
Even without Barkov?
Yeah, even without Barkov. There's still, like, Sebastian Aho. How many people really watch him play games?
I know.
like they watch the highlights, but
Another
how
goal
many
by
people,
Vago, by the way.
how many people really watch them play games?
Yeah, 5-0 now.
Oh, is it? You're ahead of me. How are you doing that? My internet must be a little slow.
It must be.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Or
Rob.
I'm down here in the marsh.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Like, I'm looking at these teams, trying to see who could be. And I agree with you. I think Finland's the likely bronze, or Sweden.
Yeah.
One or the other. We'll see. But yeah, when you talk about Aho, though, yeah, not enough people know how good he is.
This
I
is
think
the
we just
pro-
know him
like
by
this is the
name.
biggest It's like I remember saying this for the Lady Bing for years. And Jimmy, I know you and I talked about it a bunch of years ago. I kept saying, how many people are watching this Jacob Slavin play? Is anybody watching Jacob Slavin play?
Mhm.
Because how he's not in the top 3 for the Lady Bing year in and year out is ridiculous. The guy gets between 4 and 12 minutes in penalties a year. He plays in all the big matchup games. He's a top penalty killer in the league. He's a plus player every year. Like, this guy's at another level.
Mm.
And people were saying to me, well, he's doesn't get points. I'm like, who cares?
Who cares?
That's not what the Lady Bing's about.
Exactly.
Finally, I kept saying it and kept saying it and kept saying it on national shows. And, then people started to realize this guy's actually pretty good. And what the killer of it was last year in the Four Nations, oh my gosh, where did this Jeremy Slavin come from?
Yeah, I know.
Or Jacob, where does Jacob Slavin come from?
I don't have the stats in front of me, but I remember coming back from the injury, Pierre. Again, I don't have the exact stat, but somebody posted the record with him in the lineup and without, and it was just night and day.
Yeah,
Hurricanes.
That's
how much it's night and day.
He and Brock Faber last year were so good together. They were so good. I don't know how they're going to do their tandems this year.
Yeah.
I keep seeing Quinn Hughes and Charlie together. I don't know if that's going to hold up or not. That would be an interesting tandem.
Mhm.
I still don't know why they would break up Faber and Quinn Hughes. Like those
Right.
guys in Minnesota, it's crazy how good they are together.
It's amazing.
I said it on NBC. I'm going to say it again. I think this Jake Sanderson's going to have one of these breakout events, and everybody's going to say, where'd that guy come from? Because Ottawa's the same as Carolina. Who watches Ottawa outside of Ottawa Senator fans?
Yeah.
Nobody.
So maybe he's the Jacob Slavin of the Olympics here. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You brought up Charlie McAvoy, the Pierre. Good transition. We don't script this, but that's one of the topics I want to bring up. Have you noticed how vocal Charlie has been on social and in interviews about the injury he suffered to the Panthers?
Only when you send me stuff. Yeah.
What's your take on that? Because we don't usually see players go out of their way if they're, when I say play, the victims of a controversial hit. We'll call it controversial, even though I think it was dirty. But we don't usually see the player that was injured speak up as much. They just kind of take the high road. Charlie's done anything but. I love it. I think it's great. But what do you think prompted this? Is it just him, or is this something we're going to see more often? Maybe the union is asking them, or it's an interesting thing because, again, they don't usually react like this.
I'm not going to speculate why he did it, but what I'm going to say is I'm glad he did it.
Yeah, I love
glad
it.
he did it, but I won't speculate because I don't think that's fair to Charlie. But I didn't like that hit. By the way, Vilmanis is a hard player. He is. He's a hard player. I watched him play. I watched him play in Charlotte in the American Hockey League. He's equal opportunity. He doesn't pick his spots. He didn't make a good play there.
Yeah,
and Garrett Rank. Like, what are you doing, man? He's the official that was looking right at that. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't buy Vilmanis though saying it was an accident.
No,
come on,
me neither. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, you just own it. You did it. It is what it is, Also,
all those Florida hits are accidents.
Yeah. So we're right on the same wavelength today. So this is the big one I want to get to.
Not when it comes to Latvia over US or not.
So Vilmanis, speaking of, will be in that Latvia USA game. Vilmanis told Matt Porter of the Boston Globe that it was Paul Maurice's decision to keep him out of the game after that hit. And not his, and not the doctor's, strictly Paul Maurice's. Pierre,
yeah.
I don't know. I've been trying all day to think about a polite way to say this. I don't like it. That's how as polite as I can get. I don't like it one bit. Your player goes out and lays a hit like that. if he's healthy enough to go back in, he should go out and face the music.
Sometimes you got to save the player from himself. I don't know one way or the other. I've done it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done it both ways. I've had guys that I knew were tough enough and they were going to have to get it, and I wasn't going to bail out, especially on home ice. Been on the road with a couple guys. I won't tell you who they are. They knew they were going to get it, and I kind of said, "No, not tonight. You're not."
Yeah.
I got it. I didn't have to say that to him on the bench. I just, protected. So I've done it both ways. I don't know.
You said he's a tough kid. You don't think he
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Jimmy. There's tough, and then there's learning how to be tough. It's just, I don't think people really. You know what? I think everybody should have to do. Go spend a night watching American League and East Coast League games, and watch some of the fights, and then think about NHL. Now, there's a lot more fights in the American League and the East Coast League than there are in the NHL. You watch how barbaric some of them are. Like, I'm just telling you, it's not for the faint of heart. Like, these guys are really tough, Jimmy. Yeah. And like, again, I've had players where you try to protect them because they're going to get it.
Yeah.
So you quick change them, you change them on the fly, you see a matchup, you say, no, switch it up, get this left winger out there instead of that guy. Like, there's certain things you got to do to save a player from himself.
I always think back, though, to Pierre, and I think you might have been working the game. Remember when Matt Cook hit Mark Savard, knocked him out?
Well, I wasn't doing the game.
You didn't do the retribution game? When
I did the retribution. I didn't do that game. I did the retribution game.
Do the retribution game. Look, in the moment, everybody was hating on Cook, and I remember saying, and Bruins fans didn't like me giving him credit, but the one thing I said was, hey, at least he showed up, took the beating that was coming to him, and life moved on. He went out there.
Cookie had to do two of those. Cookie had to do that one. He had to do Carlson, too.
Yeah. So I give
That's
Matt
hard
Cook
to do. I'm just telling you. I know people like to rip on Matt Cook. I'm going to tell you right now, there ain't no team in the league that wouldn't have Matt Cook on their team back in the day.
Yep.
And he was an energy player personified. He was a good hockey player, and he was a good teammate. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I respected that he went out there and he took that. So, and it seems to me, and maybe he's just saying, but I mean, based on what Vilman has said, is that he would have been willing to do it. So, whatever, it's happened. We move on from that. All right, Pierre, I've had a lot of Habs fans, and I see a lot of them talking about it on social right now. Obviously, there's not going to be too many games left before the trade deadline when they get back. And, we keep hearing they need another forward, a top six forward. But also, do you think, let's say the price is too high for the top six forward, all right? And Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon say, okay, no, we're not mortgaging too much of the future for that. Do you think they should then pivot and get a right-hand shot on D for the top four?
Yeah. Matchup guy.
Yeah. Which do you think is more important, the top six forward or that?
No, I think the back end's still really important.
I think they're even.
I still think the back end's the right side. Don't rush Reinbacher. No need. Don't rush Engstrom. No need to rush. I hope Jack Guy, takes care of himself. Struble takes care of himself over this break. Most Matheson will, Dobson will, Hudson will, Carrier will. I just hope those guys take care of themselves, because this team could be Montreal. If they had the right piece, Jimmy, they could run. Like, the East is fluid.
Mm-hmm.
The East is really fluid.
Yeah.
I think in the West, it's going to be hard to get through Colorado. It's going to be hard to get through Vegas, even though Vegas is kind of up and down. It's going to be hard to get through Minnie. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be hard to get, but outside of Tampa in the East, like, are you worried about playing anybody else? Seriously, I wouldn't be.
Yeah. I mean, it's. I don't think it's in my time covering the game. I don't remember it being this wide open.
Yeah, it's really fluid. I think the dark horse that nobody's really talked about is Pittsburgh. They could do some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They could. They're like Montreal. They got a lot of young guys.
Yep. They have a lot of arsenal, so to speak.
They have major chips in the game. Let's put it that way, if they choose to use them.
It's interesting too, Pierre, right? Like, I mean, we talk about them a lot here, obviously, because of your connections and stuff, but Do you think they're getting enough love around the league for what they've done this year?
Pittsburgh or Montreal?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, no, nowhere near enough. No.
Right?
Because everybody looks silly. All the media guys said, "Where's Crosby going to end up?" And all the Montreal guys said, "Perfect fit here." And everybody's writing about where's Malkin going to end up. It's the last year of his deal. Where's he going to end up? And everybody's saying, what's going to happen to Brian Rust? And what are they going to do with Letang? And all these guys. And what's Raquel going to do? What are they going to do? So everybody wrote them off before the season. They were talking about how bad they were. Most of the people didn't even know how to spell Dan Muse's name. A lot of them wrote it M-U-Z or Z-E, where it's M-U-S-E.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys made a lot of people look silly.
Yeah.
And no, I don't see too many people saying, "Hey, sorry, I got that one wrong."
Oh, I did. I already said I got it
No,
wrong.
but not you. I'm not talking about you. You know what you said and what you didn't say, and you and I went over it. But there are a lot of prominent people that got Pittsburgh really wrong.
Yeah,
they did.
And not only got the present wrong, think about the future they have now with what they've done this year.
They'll have some decision making to make on contracts.
Right. On the guys that are UFAs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they have some decisions there. They've got a guy at Michigan State or at Michigan who's really good. They've got.
But here's one thing.
I'm telling you right now, let me just do the math here. I'm going to say they got 4 real good prospects in the American League right now. They're in a really good. They're in a really, really, really good spot. Really good spot.
And as far as those aforementioned UFAs go, Pierre, you got to think some of these guys, right? Let's say Anthony Mantha or
What's Raquel?
Well, Raquel's locked up. He's got 2 more years at 5.
2 more, yeah.
Yeah. But Mantha and Brazeau are examples of what I'm thinking here. These are guys that were suddenly becoming journeymen, right? And just couldn't find the right spot, the right fit, couldn't reach their potential.
Right.
And now they come here and they've finally found it, and they're happy and they're having fun and they're winning games and they're playing with Sidney Crosby and Malkin and Letang. You wonder, their value is obviously going to go up on the market, but you wonder, do they weigh it and say, is the fit I finally found worth more than the money?
I don't know. But here's who their second line center is: Tommy Novak. Tommy Novak came from Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Novak played at the University of Minnesota. Can you imagine his wildest dreams? He would have been told, "Oh, you're going to get traded out of Nashville, and you're going to play with Malkin and Chinikov."
It's unreal. And he's got another year.
He's playing. Tommy Novak is playing phenomenal hockey.
That's great. He's great. Even on the back end, some of the guys they found. And then, as you and Kevin Stevens last week, rightfully so, were raving about Ryan Shea. That's another UFA coming up.
He's the most improved player in the National Hockey League.
Yep.
What's his plus minus, Jimmy?
Right now, I will tell you, he is at. Wait a minute.
Got to be over plus 20.
He is currently at a plus 21, right over. Yep. He's great. This is a great story. There's a lot of those guys. That's why I wonder if some of these guys would be like, I ain't going through that again. What if I leave, I take the money, but then my career goes backwards again? I think some of these guys are going to stay if the Penguins want to keep them. That's the way
I think they're in a really good spot, Pittsburgh.
For sure.
It's going to be really interesting to see how it turns out. If they make the playoffs, it's an amazing story. And they can't win in overtime and they can't win in shootouts. Imagine if they could. They might be in first place in their division. It's unbelievable.
Great point. That's a great point. Well,
here's a good one for you. I just saw in 41 Olympic hockey games for the women,
mm-hmm.
Canada has never been goose egged.
Wow.
There's 50 seconds left in the game. They're down 5-0.
Yeah, I'm definitely ahead of you.
Are you? How many seconds ahead? They did it?
Yep.
You're about 40 seconds ahead of me then.
Well,
that's the first time ever.
That's amazing.
First
gone
time
that
ever.
long. Wow.
So their U.S. women are for real. This is a tribute to all those ECAC, Big Ten, WCHA, Hockey East, all those women coaches out there, all the prep school coaches, all the ladies that have put in so much time training. This is an amazing pat on the back to everybody that's involved with those colleges, because all those young ladies that are playing on Team USA, they're all college trained players, all of them.
That's great. Good stuff.
Every one of them. It's amazing.
Well, as
They
we've
won't
said-
over celebrate either. The fans will, but the players won't.
Nope, the players won't. That's what
They
I
won't.
said.
And you know what I would do if I was the
They level.
coach? Tomorrow, they would
Practice.
get skated so hard.
Even after the win. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I watched Keith Elaine do that before the bronze medal game in the 2011 World Junior. And if he didn't do that, they wouldn't have won. Charlie Coyle was on that team. You asked Charlie.
Oh, wow.
That may have been one of the hardest practices I've ever seen the team go through ever.
Wow.
And I was involved in some pretty tough ones. That one was hard. And it was unbelievable. And I told my partner at the time, Gordon Miller, we were doing it for TSN. I said, I think the U.S. is going to win this. They were playing Sweden. And he's like, nah. I said, I think so. And they didn't just win it. They were a lead pipe cinch after the first period. You knew they were winning because he kicked the heck out of them in practice.
Yeah.
04 World. So the first time, and I know people don't want to hear this, but I'll say it anyways. 04 World Junior, I watched the Finns win the bronze medal against the Russians in Helsinki.
Mhm.
The morning skate, I couldn't believe how hard the skate was. And I said to Gord, we were in Helsinki, a big snowstorm, like a huge snowstorm.
Yep.
And I said, I can't believe this coach did that to those players. Like, that's crazy stuff. They won the bronze.
Wow.
They won the bronze.
Wow.
So I think if
Good
I,
idea.
if I were the coach, tomorrow would be a hard skate.
Well, we shall see. All right. Before we get to sponsors, actually, Pierre, just want to note, and I'm guessing you might have met this gentleman along the way. Rick Dollywell tweeting in the last hour that Canucks legendary broadcaster Jim Robson has passed
Oh, no,
away.
I knew Jimmy really well. Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. And he said that back in the day, you would only get the Canucks game of the week on TV in the 80s, and it was Jim on the radio.
Oh, no, he was really good. I did when I was coaching, did a bunch of interviews with Jim.
Okay.
He'd come with his microphone and the little cassette player and he was good. He was good. I like that. It was good. But, from Gordon Miller and I think from 04 to 11, I think we were in Vancouver maybe 3 or 4 times a month. And then World Junior in 06, and then Olympics in 10, and then Stanley Cup final in 11.
Wow.
Like, we were there a lot. We were in Vancouver a lot.
Wow. So he was just all radio?
He was everything. Jimmy was the voice. He was the voice of the Vancouver Canucks.
It's too bad.
That's too bad. Jimmy was Jimmy close to 90?
That's what I'm looking up right now. Let's see. He was just over 90, 91.
Was he okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was a legendary broadcaster. He was really good. Really good.
All right. Well, let's get to our sponsors right now. And as we do every day at this time, we tell you about Vago Italian up in Montreal. They have been combining old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They are open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. And our wonderful friends over at Betway, where you can still go all the way and bet those beauties. They've got that deal going on. I keep telling you about it. I hope you've listened and signed up, and I hope you got your up to $300 deposit on your first bet, even if that first bet loses. Go over there right now if you have not signed up. You can go to that QR code right in front of you if you're watching, or if you're not, go to the website, go to the membership section and fill out your details there. Terms and conditions apply. You must be 18 plus. Always bet responsibly. And remember, this offer is not available in Ontario. All right, I got 2 picks since one of the games will be almost over when we come on the air tomorrow at noon. Again, we are on at noon, starting now until the 23rd. Finland and Slovakia. If you go to Betway right now, Finland are minus 410 on the money line. Pretty heavy favorites over Slovakia. And they are minus 2.5 on the puck line. The over-under is 5.5. I'm going to take the over in this. Give me the over 5.5. That means over 5 goals in that game. And then Italy, Sweden will come on after we're on the air tomorrow. Obviously, Sweden are the heavy favorites in this. You'd love to see the host country give it a whirl and give it a nice game, but I just don't see that happening. But you don't really get any value on the money line, Pierre, because let me tell you this. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest favorites I've ever seen in Olympic hockey. I don't know what the odds were when the Soviets played the Americans back in 1980, but Sweden are minus 50,000 on the money line. That means you have to bet $50,000 to win 1,000. So there's no value in that.
Why would you do that?
Why would anyone do that, right? And if you want to go on the puck line, which they have to win by more than 1 goal, it's usually minus 1.5 in most games. You're going to see a lot higher numbers in these preliminary Olympic games right now. This one is, again, the highest, and I've never seen it this high, minus 5.5. So if you want to bet the puck line, you have to say that. Now, it could very well happen and likely will, but still, it's not much value there. So my advice would be stick with the over-under there. You're only at minus 112, over 6.5. All right, let's get to our questions. What do we got? Ethan Russell, is Team USA's defense the best and deepest group you've seen in the Olympics?
For Team USA, it is. But for the no, the 02 team for Canada, the 10 team for Canada, the 14 team for Canada, no, those teams are really stacked. But for USA team, I would say yes. Yes.
All right, next question. Juice, during the Olympic break, how much do general managers pay attention to their AHL affiliate?
They better be spending a lot of time watching their AHL and their East Coast League teams. I know that there are a few people that I've talked to that are spending a lot of time around their minor league affiliates. Yes.
Yep. All right. Next question. Faux fum. Hey guys, people in Montreal media keep talking about there you go. Montreal getting a top 6 forward. I think Montreal's first priority would be to get a PK specialist, the best one available.
But they got some guys that are good on the PK. Like Jake Evans is really good. Yep. Phil Deneau is really good. Josh Anderson's really good. Like, I don't know about that. Maybe on defense. You might mean on defense.
Okay.
And that would be good if you could get one on the right side. Because let's remember, David Savard was an important player for Montreal. He's now retired. So they really haven't been able to fill his role on the PK. That's a good point if he's talking about the defense.
Okay. Next question. Hendrickson can play. If Hage plays a few games at the end of the season, he'll bring more offense. The Habs really just have to get that right defenseman for the playoffs. Gorton did say he was going to be aggressive. They're
going to be aggressive, Hendricks. They're going to be aggressive. They know what Jimmy and I have been talking about. They know how fluid the East is. They're going to give themselves a real opportunity to at least get into the second and maybe the third round.
But I think Pierre and I both agree, no matter what, Michael Hage should be.
I don't see him being traded anywhere.
Some people are saying do him. I don't think St. Louis. I think it would be a bigger deal, but some people are saying they do it for Robert Thomas. I don't know if I'd still do that, Pierre.
Robert Thomas just had surgery.
I know.
I'm not in a rush to do any of that stuff.
All right, next question. Mr. White, there's our man. Is ownership the root cause of the train wreck that's happening in New Jersey right now? Is Tom Fitzgerald going to take the fall for the HBSE Group, Harris and Blitzler Sports and Entertainment? Mr. White, I don't want to get into that right now. All I'll say, agree with you right now is it's not a good situation. And I unfortunately for everyone involved, feel like it's only going to get worse as we go on here.
I have nothing to say.
All right. Next question. Paul Cormier, watch the women U.S.-Canada game, and the U.S. looks unbeatable. Any chance that Team Canada could turn this around in a playoff round?
It'd be hard. They're going to have to get quicker. They're not quick enough right now to play against the Americans. And, Jimmy saw it. I mean, you can't see it in Canada, but I did a hit right after the first game that Team USA played. And the biggest problem you have is their defense is so mobile. There's not another team in the tournament that has the mobility of the American defense. And when you watch Haley Wynn and Caroline Harvey play together as a tandem, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Megan Keller is a superstar player in the PWHL. She's amazing coming out of her own zone. You know, you can look all over the place with their lineup. It's just they're so deep on the back end. They break the puck out. They transport the puck. They run the offensive game at the blue line. It's just Canada doesn't have anybody like that. They just don't. Renata Fast is the best Canadian defenseman that looks like that, and she's one young lady. It's not enough.
Next question. Ethan Russell again. I know you don't like to speculate, but would you trade Urov in part of a deal for Trocheck?
I probably wouldn't trade him. No, there's another player I would trade off of Minnesota's roster, but he's not in the NHL. But there's another one I would trade as part of a Trocheck trade. I'm not sure I'd be interested to trade Urov right now.
All right, next question. Juice. Pierre, during your time coaching in the league, what was the worst injury you ever saw a player play through during the playoff run?
Probably Shelly Samuelson. He had big injections in his hand. He had a terrible fracture from his wrist through his hand. It was really bad. Mario, obviously, we had to pay a kid to tie Mario's skates. He couldn't bend over. So that was pretty significant. Rick Tocchet played with a broken jaw. He got hit in the face with a puck. Mario was shooting the puck into the Chicago zone, and it hit Rick right in the face, clean, right in front of our bench. You could hear the bone crack. It was really savage. And Rick came right back. I think he missed a couple games, but he came back and played. So those would be some of the ones that I've seen. But most of the guys that are playing, if you go that deep, they're all pretty hurt. All
right, next question. Juice. Pierre, thoughts on the Laval Rockets season so far, and do they have a chance to go on a deep playoff run?
They do have a chance to go on a deep playoff run. Obviously, Jacob Fowler's a big part of that. They've got some established older players, which is what you have to have if you're going to make a run in that league, just like the NHL. They've got a tremendous coaching staff. I do think they can go on a run, and I've liked their year so far.
All right, and that's all we got today for our questions. And again,
everybody's on holiday, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, they're working.
We're starting tomorrow at 12 o'clock, right?
That's right. Live going forward until the end of the Olympics. On the weekdays, obviously, we will be live. So even that's on Fridays. We usually pre-record on campus on Thursday or Friday morning, but we will be live no matter what going forward at noon Eastern. So we hope to see you here with all your awesome questions. Thanks to everyone for watching or listening or both. And thanks to Shane working the boards up in Montreal.
Wait a second. Before you sign off, I want your predictions again. So you said U.S. is going to lose to Latvia.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you say about the goaltending thing you were talking about? There was one goaltending thing.
I think in current form, that's what I'm stressing here as we speak at this moment.
Well, you can't make any changes, so this is what they have.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm not bringing up what they've done in the past. I'm not bringing up what they might do in the future. I'm just living in the moment. I like Sweden's goalies better, and I think Wallstat is going to be the surprise of the Olympics.
That would be good.
Yep.
He has to be with all the injuries they're dealing with. If he does a good job, that would be awesome. That'd make for a really good tournament. It would be. I'm serious.
All right.
Now, we'll see.
All right. So we will talk tomorrow. We still got one more day, though, before my prediction is proven wrong, as it likely will be. But until tomorrow, have a great night, everybody. Enjoy the hockey, and we'll talk to you here on the Eye Test.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.